Hey, what up? This is Kelvin. This is gonna be my part two of the Res Metal album collection. It's the rest of the CDs that I have. I have some records and a couple tapes, which I'll do another time. So I'm just gonna pick up where I left off. I was kind of going in alphabetical order, then I realized I kind of left some out of order. So I'll just keep going with the next. Next one is Paranormal Slaughter. So Paranormal Slaughter, I got I think there are like two of their EPs. This one is Legions. See the back. You can see it's a DIY CD. And this one is Enigmatic. This one's really cool. I like the way this looks, and with the picture right here, it's almost like some wolves in the throne room, you know, like Cascadian black metal, like aesthetic. But yeah, Paranormal Slaughter, they're like, I would say more like black metal from the Navajo Nation. I believe they're out of Farmington, New Mexico. So I've seen them a few times around here and picked up these CDs at their live show. So yeah, the pretty cool band. I'm gonna try to link up some of the stuff in the description. So yeah, be sure to check that out. Next is Sacred Blood demo. So Sacred Blood, they're death metal from Gallup, New Mexico. They're no longer active. Yeah, I think they were around in like the early part of the 2000s and did some local shows. But I got their demo here. I acquired it from actually, you know, there was a bunch of like CDs that I inherited. I had a friend in Tucson who decided that they were no longer going to be into metal. So then I got a bunch of like shit that I still listen to today. So yeah, this is the Sacred Blood demo. It's super raw. Like there's two tracks. Honestly, it sounds like it was recorded live. Like the band was like jamming together live, like in like a jam space. Yeah, it's super raw, like death metal. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, I think there's one more released according to the metal encyclopedia site. So this one's cool. I dig it. I like the disc too. It's DIY with the inverted crosses. All right, next, this is 6 Million Dead. In my opinion, they're like the heaviest, most intense, like indigenous band. They play blackened death metal. Yeah, super like fast and aggressive style. The first time I ever kind of heard of them was when they opened for Nile and Soulfly in Phoenix back in 2018. I remember I showed up a little early and I was just kind of like, you know, whatever, like lurking around, looking at merch. And then I heard them play and they sounded so like tight and so like intense. But yeah, I almost thought it was like a band. Like I was like, holy shit, did like Abysmal Dawn or Belphegor get added on? I thought that's what they reminded me of. And then I went in and checked them out and it was 6 Million Dead. And yeah, ever since then, I've just been a big fan of the band. Here's the disc. This is their 2018 album, God, Greed, and Genocide. I love the album artwork here. And here's a picture of the band, the lineup that recorded this album. And yeah, they're still active. I think they just recently played with Soulfly at Marquee Theater in Tempe, Arizona. And yeah, they've been putting out like albums. I think this is their third album. I have like their other stuff like downloaded like the digital like version, but I really want to get the CD. So hopefully they can like put out some of their older stuff on CD. And another thing too, when I saw them that time with Soulfly, like they did a cover of Slayer Seasons in the Abyss. It's probably like seriously like the sickest like cover of Seasons of the Abyss you'll ever see. I found a YouTube link. Someone recorded it, so it's super fucking awesome. You should check it out. And then the next album I have Suspended. This is the Suspended album, Hollowed Minds. So Suspended, they're all-female death thrash like trio from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And their members, they have a couple members who are from like the Acoma Laguna, and I think also part Hopi tribal nations. Yeah, they're out of Albuquerque, and they've been around for a while. I want to say like the early 2000s, and this is their most recent like album that they put out. And I've been following their updates on social media, and they're recording a new album, so I'm excited about that. This is a really awesome like death thrash. Here's the lineup that recorded this album. They I would say probably more on the thrash side. They think I've actually like talked to them and did like a podcast interview with them, and I think they're like kind of inspired more by like the like thrash bands, like Destruction and Overkill. And then Amanda Castillo is the vocalist. She's got more of a death metal approach with her vocals. It's really awesome, man. Like really technical. Like their lead guitar and guitar solos are yeah, just super badass. So yeah, definitely check out Suspended. All right. So next, these are kind of like more of the more mainstream, I guess not mainstream, but what would an Indigenous album collection be without good old Testament? So got a couple of Testament albums, mostly since the formation of Damnation. I'm still trying to go back and get some of the older stuff. I used to have like the New Order and yeah, like all the old stuff, but I lost them. I'm moving around so many times. But this is cool. This is a Testament live album, live at Eindhoven. It was recorded in 1987, so that early Testament lineup. There's a lot of songs from the first two albums on this live album. Yeah, live at Eindhoven, 87. Yeah, so what people like who aren't familiar, Testament, their lead singer Chuck Billy, he's from the Pomo tribe out in California, Northern California. And honestly, if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have so many like bands from like indigenous like places around here in the North America. But yeah, Testament, they're legends. And then this is another live at the Fillmore. I don't know if maybe it's just me, but what I do when I get like CDs, I cut the side here and I keep the plastic shrink wrap over it, and then I just like pull out the CD, like just so I don't scratch up the front. I don't know, I'm like weird, but I kind of treat them like records. So like I like keeping the shrink wrap and then like just cutting the side and then pulling them in and out. When was this recorded? This was recorded. Oh, it was recorded at the Fillmore. Oh, where's the date? Just judging by the track list, I think it was probably recorded like in the 90s. They got The Preacher, they got Souls of Black, some of the more Dog-Faced Gods, some of the more latter albums from Testament. But yeah, these are cool. I think I got these off the Nuclear Blast website. They were like half off like a couple months ago, I think like Black Friday. Oh, this is cool. The album was recorded in association with the American Indian Affairs benefit. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, so Chuck Billy's down with natives, and he's got that song Native Blood, which is just like a anthem for like native metalheads. And then like I said, I got a lot of the stuff since the formation of Damnation. This is I believe they were on a long hiatus for a couple of years, and then this one came out in 2008. And yeah, they just like completely like destroyed when they came back with the more like, you know, thrash sound. Because I remember some of the albums in the 90s, they were kind of playing with like, I don't know, hard rock, and then there was a death metal album, Burnt Offerings, I think that's what it's called. But yeah, this one's cool. I really like this. And here's the disc. Yeah, I dig this album. And then this is probably of the newer Testament albums, this is probably my favorite. Dark Roots of Earth. There's the track Native Blood. That's I think the second track. Pretty much just a song about being native and, you know, being in the metal, and, you know, basically telling the white man to fuck off, which is always, you know, a good message. But yeah, my favorite track actually is the Cold Embrace. Cold Embrace, it's like a slow, like, you know, almost like ballad, like kind of like Fade to Black or like Cemetery Gates. Yeah, it's just one of the best like Testament songs ever. And yeah, so that's Dark Roots of Earth. And then this is the live album, I think, that came out right after it. This is the Dark Roots of Thrash. It's a live album with like a concert on DVD. I have a lot of like DVD concerts just because like during the pandemic, like you know, all the live shows were canceled, and like I think just to kind of like get that itch scratched, I, you know, started getting all these like live like concert DVDs, you know, like this Testament one. I have like a bunch of them, like Lamb of God, Immortal, At the Gates. I don't know, maybe I'll show them off in another video. This one came out, I think, 2016. Brotherhood of the Snake. I don't know. I really, I've listened to this multiple times, but I don't know. It doesn't really catch on to me. It's a good album. It's just like, you know, I think I've read in interviews that like this album, like the songwriters, I think like Eric Peterson and the other guitarists were trying to write like the most like fast, like aggressive stuff they could. Alex Skolnick and Eric Peterson were just trying to write like the fastest, like most like complex shit that they can come up with. So it's probably why it doesn't really stick with me, just because it's like super like, you know, technical. And then this is their newest one, again with the shrink wrap here. This is their newest album, Titans of Creation. Came out in 2020. It's probably like the best like album cover. Yeah, like anything with like DNA or like like human body parts or anatomy is always like cool with me. And yeah, this one's really good. I think I like it better than Brotherhood of the Snake. There's a track on here. It's really cool. Shit, what's it called? I think it's called The Healers. Like Chuck Billy like wrote a song about getting like doctored by a medicine man. It's really cool. Yeah, The Healers. Yeah, you definitely check out the lyrics for that. I guess like, so the story behind that was like Chuck Billy was diagnosed with cancer, and he was like, I heard this like off of like the Jamie Josta podcast. Like he was diagnosed with cancer, and he visited like a medicine man like from where he's from, and like he did a lot of like I guess like spiritual like healing as yeah, he got spiritually healed by one of the medicine men's in that area, and then that like helped him like with his cancer treatment. So that's a really cool song. You should check out the lyrics. And then this is Jonathan Nez's favorite band. I don't know why I didn't like show him when I started this video. It's Anthrax. This is their newest album, For All Kings. Came out 2016. Yeah, damn, it's been a while. It's been a while since we got some new Anthrax. But yeah, this one has Joey Belladonna, who the lead singer, who I believe is from the I had to look it up. He's from the Iroquois tribe. So this is the only like Anthrax like album I own. I used to have the older stuff like Spreading the Disease and Among the Living, but I just lost it, moving around so many times. But yeah, I really dig this. It's really, really, really cool. Good album. I think I got this separate. It's like a CD single back when like, the record stores still sold these CD singles for like $1. So I got that. Um, and then let's see. Oh, so this one, probably my last of the CDs is I don't know how to pronounce the name. Sorry, Yoto Bitlan. It's they're a Mexican band. Their website, they describe it as like, Mesoamerican metal, but if you want to be more like specific, I'd say it's more like atmospheric, like um Mesoamerican black metal from Mexico. This is like really, really breathless. I mean, it like just takes my breath away how good it is. Like, I don't know, the way they incorporate like flutes and rattles, and I don't know, just the way it's like they build some like supernatural like atmosphere with their music. And the only band I can kind of compare it to, if anyone knows the band Moon Sorrow, like from Finland, kind of like that, but think of it as more like an indigenous like North American like influence rather than like Finnish folk. But yeah, this is seriously probably one of the best albums I've ever heard. It flew under the radar like 2020. I don't know. I picked it up not too long ago, like a year ago. So I was kind of late to getting into them. But yeah, super like underrated band. I don't hear or I don't see too many people talking about them, or people who collect albums. I don't see this in a lot of people's like collection. So those are all my indigenous like metal CDs. I got a couple. I would just say they're honorable mentions just because they're not metal. This one's the Cremains, the bird, the snake, and the dog. So the Cremains, they're Navajo, I would say hard rock. Reminds me of like Foo Fighters, kind of like almost like Volbeat, I guess. Yeah, they kind of remind me of Volbeat. This came out, I believe, in 2006. I found this at Bookmans. You can see the Bookmans sticker. So yeah, I remember they were very active like in the early 2000s around Flagstaff, and I would see them, their local shows with the Cremains. And then I never saw them live just because I was like in high school and like, staying at the dorm. You can't really just like, walk to a show. But yeah, that's really cool. I listened to it a few times. It's really catchy. They do use like Navajo words in some of their choruses, which is pretty sweet. And then this one, Blackfire, it's I think it's like a live CD. It's like supposed to be to promote the band's like Warped Tour appearance, because like when you open the disc, there's like a Warped Tour. I don't know. I guess like they were on Warped Tour and they were just like promoting their music for their Warped Tour. But yeah, I don't know too much about like punk music, so I can't really give you a good description of how they sound. It's just yeah, punk rock. I think there's some Ramones cover songs. I Believe in Miracles, Planet Earth 1988. Um yeah, it's cool. I mean, they're all Navajo. They're a Navajo band, and I believe they're all like brothers and sisters. All these people, they're all like siblings, and I believe they're out of Flagstaff, and so it's cool. I just keep it in my collection because they're got to support the Navajo punk rock. And then this one is 1876. The I would say actually, so the way it's described as is powwow punk rock. The frontman, his name's Gabriel. I talked to him for like an interview, and he just described it as like powwow punk rock, since he like incorporates the sounds of like powwow, drums and dancers with like punk guitar and punk music. So yeah, like I said, I'm not a big punk rock fan, so I can't really give you a cool like like it sounds like this, but it's pretty awesome. I dig it. Indigenous punk rock, powwow punk rock. So yeah, those are my CDs. I'll do one of these again, probably do it with my like records, and I have a few like tapes. So yeah, be sure to check that out. But anyway, Ahéhee. We'll see you soon. Later.